Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome, TSFL fans. It is finally here. the 2026 Team Draft. And joining us today, who is going to be sharing some great insight, is not only our fearless leader, but also a past champion, Hiighwalkr.
What's going on, boys? Who's ready to nerd out?
I know I have been. I was really amped up yesterday, and I was ready to start this all and get it going, but just had to wait. Had to do one extra day of research, and I think I'm in a little bit of a better place today than I was yesterday. So hopefully, everything, all the cards fall into my lap, and I can get a good team where I'm sitting. But other than that, so who I know you're sitting number 5, and being that high up in the order, I'm assuming you've looked at 6 teams. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think the benefit of this year is a lot of the teams are pretty watered down. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that everyone would definitely want to have, and then from there, like 4 to maybe 12 are pretty much just preference. And then really after that, it's just kind of a crapshoot. So I think that's a little bit better than last year, where I think there was a little bit more kind of like just imbalance with the teams. Obviously, if you have a top pick, you're going to kind of be able to get what you're most comfortable with, but they're not, you're talking like 65 overall teams to 69. So it's not a huge spread, but I was able to pretty much find 7 teams that I would be cool with no matter what. So from there, I just kind of ranked them out, put them in order, did a couple hypotheticals, and, picking 5, I kind of just let the other people do the work for me, so I got lucky. I seem to get lucky in these things quite often. We've changed how we've done the lotteries in multiple ways, and I always just seem to fare out. So I'm blessed in that sense.
Yeah, I started doing my research and I started looking at it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm picking 16. Am I really going to sit here and look for 16 to 17 teams that I think, and make a list out of those? And I got through about 7 or 8, and I kind of gave up after that. I kind of felt like, yeah, it's going to be what it is. I have a kind of good idea of who I want, and if they're not there when my pick comes, then I mean, I'll just roll with whatever's left and just do it. I didn't want to get too thick into the weeds with everything and have a whole breakdown of stuff. So, and I know there's some other guys that are probably running. I think I saw somebody in here commenting about that they're just kind of going to raw dog it, and I don't know if that's the perfect solution, but I guess we'll see how that all plays out for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I messaged a couple people in the top 10. Not really for intel, because there's 7 teams I like. There's some I might like more than others, but I'm really good with 7. So there's no way I don't get a team I like. I was more or less just curious to see how people were kind of figuring who they were going to go with. There's kind of a lot of variables, especially when you factor in we're only going to be with these teams minimal time length, depending on how well you do. So it's just interesting to see what people value, like initially, because typically it's kind of just a race first 2 seasons. So I don't know. I got a lot of different perspectives. Some guys surprised me. A lot of guys kind of had their own theories. I don't know if the test leagues are really valuable. A lot of guys really like test leaguing without knowing the sliders and, like the wear and tear slider, the transfer portal slider. And then there's a big difference too with like user teams. Me and you have talked about it, like when you face the CPU actually, or when you're facing another user, there's different variances, like in, I think, like the results. Users seem to like fare well. So I don't know. Other than people doing the test leagues, which I think is kind of a waste of time, I talked to a lot of guys, and there's a lot of critical thinking that I was impressed with. A lot of guys taking like the time to do interesting research. It was kind of cool to hear from the guys I did talk to.
Yep, definitely. And I just got a notification. We have our first pick in.
Oh boy. T1 was last couple of days. He's
Uh,
quite the troll. I
yeah,
think he's
I-
reported himself taking 4 or 5 different teams at this point.
and I'm pretty sure that his the DMs were just completely blowing up the whole time. Uh, with people trying to pick his brain and see what he was planning on doing and all that. So I can only imagine uh, all the people that were bothering him the whole time, trying to get information out of him just to see who he was going to try to take. But
Everyone picked stressful, dude. I wouldn't want it, to be honest. You're
so
really having to pick perfect at number 1.
right,
But let's see what he did.
and so with the first pick in the TSFL draft, T1 Anime selects Charlotte.
Former champion goes number 1.
Former champion.
Makes
I
sense.
wonder if that had
Yeah.
anything to do with that final decision. Because I'm going to be honest here, I looked at Charlotte, and besides a couple guys on defense, which I thought they were pretty stacked, I wasn't too keen on their offense. Now, and maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but I had them farther down the board. So, it all depends on what kind of team I guess you want and how you're going to roll with it, and offense you're going to run or whatever. So T1 select Charlotte. Charlotte is off the board, and King Taylor is now on the clock.
Charlotte pick is interesting. I mean, like I said, I don't think anyone's going to be crowned like a victor or a loser after this draft. I think it's going to take a lot of just kind of seeing how the cards fall. They're
Mm-hmm.
not really the most impressive if you're just looking at their roster. I will say, 'cause I did some deep dives of just stuff that I look out for. Very fast at receiver. That's always a big thing. If 3 guys, one being a lower overall, but overalls don't always mean everything. But 3 pretty fast guys that kind of stuck out a little bit. At tight end, very weak at tight end. Um, in our mode, tight ends seem to get a lot of targets, get a lot of production.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a lower end tight end, that could be something you're going to be working uphill against. Good speed at linebacker. They had an 84 speed, which is pretty high this year. If anyone hasn't noticed, they've nerfed speed a little bit, so it's a lot lower. So they had decent speed at tight end. Now at corner, good acceleration, good balance. They don't have one cornerback over 90, so that's kind of interesting. So a little slower on the cornerback side. At safety, you had 288s. That seems to be about the highest safeties are for the teams we have available. So they have 2 on that higher end. One's a 79 overall sophomore. So that's a guy that you could obviously build up. I don't love the pick, but I'll say this, it's a former champion team. They're definitely top 10. They have nice jerseys. They have a decent pipeline. I think you have to do yourself a favor when you're picking early and just go with your gut. Because if you try to play too analytical or you try to just pick the team that you think everyone thinks is the best, you might screw yourself. You kind of just got to, go with the team you're going to be the most happy with and just build them up. That would kind of be what I would assume you do here with these early picks.
Yes, definitely. I would totally agree with that. That's what I did in my first when I got the number 1 pick and I had Memphis sitting there. I there's a couple other teams I had on my board, but I just felt like that team kind of went well with what I wanted to do from a team aspect, from an actual coaching aspect in game. So that's the reason that I went with them, even though there was a couple other teams that probably could have went number 1 too. And I mean, and that's the thing on here. I mean, is Charlotte the clear number 1 overall? No. Um, I would put them in a handful of other teams in there. So it's just we'll all see how it plays out. Plays out when we get out in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. Like, we all kind of know what matters most in this mode. Like, we all have like kind of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
But you saw my scouting. I sent it over to you because our picks are so far away from each other. But you do got to kind of have to know what you usually try to do. Like we've done this for a year now. We had Madden before, so I kind of know what I generally try to put together for a team. And I won't say the team's name, but there was a team that I put in my top 5 and I sent to you that after talking to a couple other team users did not mention this team in their top 5. And I mean, they're a bona fide top 5 team for me based on what I look for. And I talked to 3 or 4 other users in the top 10. They didn't list them once. So it's very, you got to kind of know what you do, and what you tend to build, what kind of guys you lean towards, what attributes. So I'm pretty sure T1 kind of just made a decision here based on what he thinks he's going to try to put together with that team. But he's definitely got a good building block. Charlotte's their former champion. So, I mean, how wrong could it be, right? It's a good pick.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how this plays out in college football 26 versus college football 25, just because it is different. The gameplay is a little bit different. Yeah, the nuts and bolts, everything underneath the hood is pretty much the same. But it'll be interesting. And then there were some interesting things I saw in the update notes that came out for today's update. And it'll be interesting to see if any of that stuff plays over into slow sim. So I think it'll help. At least it sounded like it would help. So it'll be interesting to see that.
It's hard to say, man. Those patch notes, so it's weird with our league. When any update comes out and there's the patch notes, you nailed it on the head. It's tough to know what is going to like directly affect our mode versus just the game itself. The one that struck out to me, because I've been doing a heck of a lot of research with sliders, run blocking has been broken. Blocking in general, that's a common theme, but especially with the run blocking, sacks always run high in our mode. That's just kind of what you could expect. But run blocking's been really, really bad. And they fixed something with targeting. They fixed something with inside blocking a little better. So that should help. And that should alleviate some of the sliders that I've been seeing for run blocking. A lot of like main creators out there have had like run blocking slider in the 90s, where for reference in CFB 25, I think I had it in between like 56 and 60. So it's a huge jump as far as how the game's been playing. So I'm hoping that fixed it a little bit, because having a slider that high is just crazy. It means something's broken.
Definitely, that would be nice. And we just got a notification. Pick 2 is in. So going to be going through and making sure we got this here. And
Pick here.
Very, very slow moving to get this up to the podium.
Pick, man. Taylor's he's coming off that tournament win, dude. It's a lot of momentum. That tournament was tough.
Yep.
A lot of people did not do well.
And I think he's going to be happy.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he's going to be really happy with what was left. I mean, you got the second pick. I mean, the chances are maybe your team went, but so this just in, with the second pick in the TSFL Team Draft, King Taylor selects Florida Atlantic. A lot of people thought they were going to be number 1. I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be number 1. I believe they actually were not number 1 on my short list, but I kind of figured that they were one of the favorites. I figured they weren't getting out of the top 3 no matter what, and that held true to form. So
my top 5, they were definitely. I didn't think they'd get to me, so I didn't really put too much into it. I will say they weren't my top 3, but once again, that's just kind of what I look at personally. I will say, just from kind kind of the intel I gathered talking to a couple different people are really heavily invested in that Florida pipeline. I don't know if that's a smart move. I don't know if it's a bad move, but I just know a lot of people are putting emphasis on that because with this 26 game, the devs have made points of telling us pipelines are going to matter a lot more, or just kind of be a lot different than we're in 25. So I know a lot of people were looking at the pipeline aspect, which it's Florida, so it makes sense.
Yep, definitely. I mean, yeah, this is kind of a quick race, right? But at the same time, you want to be able to, if things don't pan out, you need something to fall back on to. And if you got a good recruiting pipeline, that could help if your team just doesn't take that next step, So
It really just depends how you look at it, man. I think I like what we're doing this year with the actual coaching progression to where you have to go through each stop that like a coach would on their way to becoming a head coach and then like, a solidified head coach. But it also makes you factor in, all right, so the goal is progress, time length to do it, right? 2 years, 3 years, whatever the minimum is. At that point, you're hoping to dip. So it's like, what do you value most? Is it recruits? Because you can get a freshman speed wise or a particular quarterback that you could play right away and can dominate. A lot of times, though, you're waiting for those guys to progress. So you're kind of picking a lane there. Do you put more emphasis on coaching? Do you look at conference you're in and maybe an easy way to 8 or 9 wins? I like that people have to kind of put more effort into what they prioritize rather than like last with CFB 25, people were kind of going in the mentality of just, I'm going to be here 4, 5, 6 years plus. So they just build, build, build. Now you're forced to like prioritize what matters the most. So it's cool seeing these picks come in and seeing what some of these former good guys, seeing what they're thinking with the new game.
yes, definitely. The third pick is in.
Fu, I still can't pronounce some of these guys with their discords. I still have not quite cracked the code on the pronunciation.
Yeah,
Is it
sometimes.
Fugazi?
Yeah,
Fugazi?
I like Fugazi. I kind of go roll with that.
Fugazi,
It,
it does work. I'm just wondering if we're saying it wrong.
yeah, we very well could be. But I haven't heard anything. So until I hear something, I'll just run with it that way. I don't have a problem with that then. But usually somebody will let you know if something's wrong, especially in this lobby.
It's true. We got a vocal bunch. They will they will let you know if they're offended quite often.
Definitely. And with the third pick in the TSFL Team Draft, Fugazi selects UAB.
Interesting pick.
Yep, very
Um,
interesting. I was actually hoping that they were a team that was going to slip through the cracks and fall to me at 16 because there's some good stuff there, but there's some holes there too. And I was really hoping, just because I love their uniforms, to be honest. Um, I think some of those color combos with the lime green and the gray just looks good, and that was good enough for me. I was just gonna roll with it just because of that.
team. Like I said, I mean, I I don't think we should put too much into these draft results just because a lot needs to happen after the fact to know who made the right decision, who didn't. I will say, just from a perspective standpoint, when you look at UAB, right, they have 4 players 80 overall or higher, which is kind of low. When you dive into that more, 2 of them are running backs. So you could say one of them probably not going to use a ton, and then the other one's a kicker. So realistically, they have, 2 guys above 80 that are actually going to be playing, major snap.
Mm-hmm.
That said, the one is an 85 overall running back. Very similar to almost that first pick that we saw with Charlotte. They have good speed at receiver, some 90s in there, and that's a 90 to 91 receiver this year is like a 93 to 94 last year because they've nerfed it. So these guys are fast, even though traditionally a 90 91 isn't, major. Tight end side, relatively decent speed with no one over 80. On the linebacker side, definitely some speed there. I think where they probably shine the most is corner. They have one guy that's a junior who's very, very promising, Tariq Watson, 91 speed, 93 acceleration. His change of direction, which sometimes corners are a little lower on, his is 89, which is very high. This is a guy who's a junior that you can build up probably very well if you're able to keep him for another year. I think this is just a cool pick. Once again, I don't think anyone should take it too serious. I think from a location and like jersey standpoint, they're top 5. I think roster-wise, they're top 12. So once again, just get the team you like because no matter what, you're stuck with them for 2 years. So I think it's a good pick.
Right. The thing that I find very interesting about this now that I just noticed, what do these three picks have in common?
Charlotte, FAU, UAB.
Yeah.
What's it?
They're all in the American Conference.
Oh.
So the top 3 picks in our league are all stacked in the same conference. That is going to make
actually
very interesting. Yes, that is super, super interesting. Charlotte, wow. Florida Atlantic, and UAB are all in the American Conference. That's pretty cool.
So you got to think. So here, play onto that more because I know this pick's about to come in. I would say, just based on how our carousel goes, I would say it's almost a certainty that one of these 3 teams will not make the first carousel just because of the conference situation. So you got one of the top 3 teams will basically flop if you just consider, the whole goal is to make that carousel after year 2. So very interesting. Just because of team selection, one of these 3, I would almost bet everything, will not make that initial carousel. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yep, it'll be very interesting. And I don't think I mentioned it before, but excuse me, Mr. Eskew is on the clock.
Oh boy.
I think he's thrown out about 3 or 4 teams.
He's a wild man.
That he said he's going to pick. So at this point, God only knows what team's going to come in.
I think the pick is in, my friend.
Ooh.
Pick here coming up. Interesting one. I love the presentation. Presentation is A1 this year, my friend. Good job with that. We have come a long way. Look at the ticker at the bottom. That is just impressive.
What can I say? I'm a nerd.
Dude, it's so dope. I just like looking at it. I'm over here drinking a couple brewskis, just watching that
what,
shit.
You're drinking? You're drinking and drafting? That is not legal.
Amongst other things. I heard this is how the Browns draft. So I was like, you know what? That's a franchise that I respect. That's a franchise that I respect.
And with the 4th pick in the TSFL Team Draft, excuse me, selects Buffalo.
Good pick. What are your thoughts on that?
They were high on my list. I liked them a lot. I thought their defense looked very good. And to be honest with you, I have had just terrible experiences with defenses, and I kind of feel like maybe I need to switch up, maybe concentrate a little bit more on the defensive side, um, because lately I've been just losing a lot of games by giving up way too many points. So the best way to do that is to start with a good defense and then build from there. So I had them relatively high, but I knew they wouldn't fall to me anyways. So, but I think this is a really good selection. This is about where I would have guessed they would have gone.
I mean, we'll kind of just go over his pick real quick and then segue into mine. So I had Buffalo ranked pretty high. I definitely would have taken them. By no means do I think they're the best team. I just I like certain aspects about them. I think they had a quarterback. They have 5. There's a particular quarterback that I really like out of theirs. I won't do SQ's homework for him, but they got a guy in there that all the potential in the world. Running back, they have an 88 senior, but you get him for a year to hopefully kind of solidify yourself in the carousel early on. 93 speed receiver who's an 84, another junior. I will say one thing to look out for that I'm hoping SQ kind of did his research on. Their 2 best guys who are great. It's an 84 receiver and a 90 linebacker, both juniors. So that jumps out at you very quick. I will say in some of the scenarios that I was testing for Portal, because I don't really do test leagues, I just tested for Portal, they leave sometimes. I don't know with whatever sliders we do for the Portal how it will work in our league, because you have more users and whatnot. I just know when you're a team like ours, and you have a guy that's very high ranked, sometimes you lose him in the Portal. And, you know, to say like you're banking on these 2 guys to have 2 seasons with you, if you would in fact lose one of them or both, totally changes the landscape for the team. But overall, this was a great pick. I had Buffalo. They were my top 3. So I think this is a great value pick at 4 here.
Yep, couldn't agree more. And you are on the clock, Mr. Hiighwalkr. So at any time you want to send that over, just let me know. I don't want to have you. I'll talk right now because I'm sure you need to do some little bit last minute.
I'll send it over to you right now.
Oh, here it comes.
I knew it was gonna go this way. Unfortunately, me and you have talked privately. We'll announce it. We'll go through it, and I'll kind of give my rationale. But yeah. Pick is in. The fix is in, boys.
Wow. Really? You're going to go there? Don't get these guys fired up in chat. We don't need any of that.
Dude, my hands are tied. Should I announce it because it's mine? Should we do that for the little difference?
if you would like to do that, I have no problem with that.
All right, boys. So with the 5th pick, yours truly is going to take a step back into memory lane here and take Arkansas State. Now I want to clarify. I would have taken FAU and I would have taken Buffalo. The dilemma with picking 5th is if you have a top 3 and the other 2 get taken, you're forced to get what's left. In this case, it is my former team that I was fortunate enough to take to the national title and win. So I'm going back with Arkansas State. They're a great team. Once again, I don't think they're the best team by any means. They're top 6 all day. But, you know, if you put me in a corner, I'm going to kind of just go with what I'm used to. So I'm running it back with Arkansas State. Hopefully it's a short term. Hopefully it's 2 years and I'm out. But yeah, we're going to run it back. Let's go.
Yep, and look at chat blowing up. You owe me my $1.
Who's blowing up these fuckers? What am I supposed to do? I mean, what do I really do? Just not take the best team.
They were in my
I mean,
they were in my top teams too. So I agree they were there,
yeah,
and it is what it is. That's how it falls. Four people could have grabbed them and they didn't. So
I really
that's
didn't
just.
want him, to be honest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you got to understand, I can, you're not going to win because you have Arkansas State for 2 years. Our whole league is structured differently. And I would have much rather taken a different team just to do it. But I don't know. I know their roster. It's switched up a little bit, but I already know the roster. It's I'm not gonna not take the best team available just because of
Just because you ran
me
with them,
just yeah.
right?
I mean, if I would have taken Buffalo, I would have taken FAU. There's another team that I told you about that I'm not gonna spoil for anyone who maybe wants to get them. That was super freaking close. I'm just not gonna overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best team on the board. I'm just taking the best team on the board, is what it is.
Yep.
Go Birds.
Van Glider, you are on the clock. In case I didn't mention that before, which I really didn't. Yeah, this is so far. This has pretty much gone very, very similar to what I was thinking was going to happen. And with that being said,
Same.
I think this is going to be an interesting pick.
I like him. I was telling you a little info on him earlier, saying, I mean, I didn't think this early, but once again, get who you like. But I was telling you for your pick, this was the team to look at.
Yeah,
So I see it. I see it.
and like I told you, I wasn't getting excited about anything because I was pretty certain that it didn't really matter.
And you are probably, if there's a top 5 worst luck in this league, you're probably sitting at 4th or 5th.
No,
You do get
no,
some shitty luck.
no, never happens. So with the 6th pick in the TSFL draft, Van Glider selects Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks of Jacksonville State are officially off the board.
It's an interesting pick, my guy. Very interesting pick.
C
What do you think about
Dry,
it?
you are on the clock. Nope, they were a
What do you think
team.
of that last one?
I mean, they were a team that was definitely on my list, and I could only hope that they would actually fall all the way down to 16. I was pretty sure they wouldn't, so I was like I said, I am. It is what it is. I guarantee you, there's probably not going to be one team that I actually want that's going to fall to 16. And I mean, why would you expect it to? There's 15 other users in front of you. Obviously, your team's probably going to go. That's a lot of teams. That's why I know like anybody, because I did that the last time when I think I had like the 23rd pick when I got UTEP. I was just like, whatever falls, and I'm just like looking, and I'm like, oh, UTEP's there, I'll take them, and I'm fine with it.
I will say, so I scouted. I didn't want to do everything. So I ended up deep scouting. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I deep scouted 9 teams after just kind of going through and just doing like a quick, yeah, them maybe, for sure not them, maybe them. So I ended up doing 9 teams. So I really had a board of 9. I will admit, Jack State was on my board. They were definitely probably like 8 or 9, but they were on there. And I thought they had enough meat on the bone to make a play. Not at my pick, but I just kind of wanted to get that full board landscape. I think their true value is, it's splitting hairs, man. I think they're a 10th to 13th pick, give or take. But once again, Van Glider messaged me. He had him last season.
Mm-hmm.
He has total familiarity with him.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just going with what you know. I mean, I totally get it.
So
Right?
I'd like to read
Sometimes
it.
it's easier that way.
Right, exactly. So I'd like to share a quote in chat if you haven't noticed yet. I'd like the
What
record
is
to
it?
show that Mike Mullet Jr. destroyed Rayner's career passing touchdown record in the last league. Rayner is a bum. How would you like to respond to that, Mr. Hiighwalkr?
So the ironic thing is, I don't think I'm going to be starting Rayner. There is a guy second on their depth chart that if you don't look at his awareness, he's better than Rayner in almost every category. So stay tuned to that. I still got to mess with it, but Rayner might be a dude on the portal. So keep kind of tabs on that. I don't like the Rayner slander. He's still a great quarterback. But he's been nerfed. Rayner's nerfed a ton from last year. I
Mhm.
don't know how it combines, but they nerfed Rayner.
Well, I think
But
he didn't. He actually in real life did not play very well last year, and I think that's probably what constituted that. They probably
point.
did something and just nerfed him a little bit just because he didn't have that great of a year. But the interesting thing, like what you said about the transfer portal, honestly, anybody that's worried about that, personally, in my opinion, I think it's a non-issue because I think we are all going to get destroyed no matter who we are. I think we're all going to get destroyed with transfers. Now, whatever the slider is or whatever it decides, wherever we're at, I think it's gonna be maxed out for all of us every year because from what I've experienced so far in the game, guys are leaving. I mean, it's almost impossible to hit a lot of these deal breakers that they have in there. And they're always moving now too because they're dynamic. That's another thing that's going to be a lot different this year versus last year. Is that the guy might start out with a C minus on conference prestige, but by the end of the season it might move up to a B minus. So I don't know. I think that's going to be a really different aspect for all of us to deal with this year. But I think all because we're all starting at small schools, I think we're all going to be in the same boat. But that's my opinion.
Portal thing's weird. Supposedly they've tuned a lot of the deal breaker stuff, so I'm hoping
Well, that would be nice if they
it's
did do that
they
because
supposedly did. I just don't know to what effect. Now I will say this. I'm it's hard to word this correctly because I'm still testing because I'm really just trying to be meticulous with everything, but I'm definitely going to lower the amount of transfers that can come out. I think standard's 20. 20 is kind of high. Most teams average around 15 or 16. So I'd like to see the number at that at the most. When you have it at 20, then you see like consistent 15 or 16. I wouldn't mind some years if it's 12 or 13 because you don't want to always be at the average. Just try to have a little bit of leniency. But what I'm going to definitely do is if I lower the total amounts that could happen, I'm probably going to raise like the chance of it when you have like that slider thing for computer and us. I'll probably keep the computer lesser because the problem is that right now with the transfer portal, the problem that's happening in most test leagues or leagues that are going on is you see like Arch Manning leaving to go to Florida, or you see like the Florida Lagaway quarterback going to like, Alabama. And it's all these super unrealistic guys dipping for no reason. I want to avoid that. I don't want the computer teams to get messed up. I kind of want some consistency there. But I want ours to be a little bit more difficult. So I'm still balancing around with those sliders, but I'll say this, it'll be easier than the default for sure. 'Cause I think the default's kind of unnecessarily hard. So we'll kind
mm-hmm.
of see how it goes, but still a work in progress a little bit here as we get in the final stages of Zen. Interesting one here, bro. Kind of just talking about him too. Very interesting one here.
Mm-hmm. And with the 7th pick in the TSFL draft, C-Dry selects UTEP. I'm very shocked. I know why that pick went that high. Um, I guarantee it's because of Malachi Nelson. But what we were just talking about is going to be, that's going to probably make or break that team year 1, year 2. If he stays and doesn't transfer, I think it'd be a really good pick. But if he transfers, there's that team's got a lot of holes in the other spots that I saw. And there's a couple other teams I probably would have taken before him, but that's just the way I see it. So I was
UTEP.
No matter
Oh, keep
what,
going,
I
sorry.
was hoping they weren't going to fall to 16 because I didn't want to have to take them again.
It's the interesting thing about UTEP. And let me just add them in here.
Dinkelberger,
Okay.
you're on the clock, by the way.
Here's the interesting thing with UTEP. You're looking at their roster, and I don't want to do too much commentary because I don't want to do people's research for them, but I'll just give a little bit of insight on what I look at, right? It's an offensive league, these sim leagues we do, right? I think we can all agree tends to favor offense, right? Defense is tougher. And mind you, you can look at that two different ways. Maybe you prioritize defense, balance that out a little bit. Or maybe you say, the hell with defense. It's going to be a shit show no matter what. Let me have the best offense, right? Because that's kind of the whole meat and potatoes of what's going on. If C-Dry here is looking at it that way, well, what do you got? You have two receivers that are 84 and 83 overall. I'm telling you right now, that's probably the best tandem of receivers in this whole draft that we have for available teams. Maybe some other ones kind of close, but you have an 84 and 83. Some teams don't even have 180 at receiver, or like maybe one guy at 80. So that's very powerful. On the other end of it, you have a running back at 84. So your offense has three basically mid 80s. You got manual progressions. You can bump these guys up as you choose. You pair that with Malachi Nelson. Now, mind you, I think Malachi Nelson has been nerfed a ton. Let me look at his throw power. I think it was a little bit better last year, but he's still pretty good. 92 throw power, 86 speed. Either way, I think this could easily be a top 15 offense in the entire game, like including the CPU teams. Amongst users for the carousel, I think this could be a top 5 offense. So if you're looking at it like, let me just have one good year and I'll figure out next year, hopefully win a bunch and maybe just keep a guy or two or bring in a good portal guy or recruit because you're in Texas. I mean, I think it's a smarter pick than people realize if you're factoring in, okay, 2 years, carousel, first year offense is going to be great. Second year, I'll take a risk and figure it out. Would I have taken them this early? No, but I see the logic. I think it's a sneaky good pick.
Yeah, it definitely could. I mean, it's one of those things. That's why, I make comments on certain things, but in the end, if you're comfortable with it and you have an idea of what you're trying to do, that's all that really matters. UTEP, I mean, you can definitely win with them if you know what you're doing. So at this point, I don't think that was too much of a reach. Looks like
Definitely some surprises though. I didn't see the picks going this way.
no,
But some of the ones are kind of coming in. So we'll see. My top 5 was definitely a lot different than everyone else's. Maybe I'm a bozo.
I had one team left that was in my top 5, and they are now officially gone. So I really don't care what happens anymore in the draft. So so with the 8th pick in the TSFL draft, Dinkelberger selects Hawaii.
I liked Hawaii. I liked Hawaii, man.
Honestly, they were number 1 on my list. I saw they were number 1 on my list.
Were you a rainbow dude?
I do love their uniforms. I'm not gonna lie. But there was some stuff on there that I was just like, oh, this team would be a lot of fun. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people think the pipeline sucks for Hawaii. I don't think it's a problem. I'm sure Taylor would even tell you it's not a problem because he won a championship there. So I don't know. I there's just something about them that I like, and I think they would have been a great team to use. So this is a good pick in my opinion.
I had, just for reference here, I'm gonna bring up their team.
And by the way, J Corb is on the clock.
J Corb is on the clock, yeah. For reference, I had Hawaii rated higher than Charlotte. I had Hawaii rated higher than UAB. I had Hawaii rated higher than Jack State and UTEP. That's just my list. I'm obviously not the end all be all. And once again, we're splitting hairs. Like when I say they're better, like inches. I will say, they have, I don't know, one of the best freshman quarterbacks in the entire game, and he's at Hawaii and not like Michigan or Texas, Alabama. I mean, he's just sitting there at Hawaii, 79 overall. You know, good stats. Yeah, he's just sitting there chilling, freshman. I mean, very interesting. A shame that if you do well, you won't get him for the whole 4 years, but just chilling there, 79 overall freshman. You're not going to see that at all, really. You know, so that's nice. I did a deep dive on this team.
All I know is I'm starting to rethink my ranking of Hawaii because Grueller just made a comment in chat that Hawaii was the top pick so far in his rankings. So I don't know what that says. If Grueller and I think the same team is the number one team, I need to rethink my whole process here.
So here's the just the outlook on Hawaii, because they were one of my deep dive teams. Good quarterback, like I stated. They have a 91 running back as far as speed, 92 receiver, 91 receiver, 90 receivers. So they have 390 receivers. Super nice. They got an 82 tight end, 3 80 plus speed linebackers, and then they got a cornerback at 91. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good team, dude. I'll give someone a little bit of a spoiler here, because I don't know if people are looking at it. Tough schedule. They got a very, very tough schedule season. I don't know how much that matters to folks, but I would fucking don't ever have kids. All right. Today's episode is sponsored by Gridiron Grub. You know them. They're the folks keeping TSFL coaches alive during 3-hour recruiting nights and heartbreaking overtime losses. Gridiron Grub. So.
I think you got interrupted during that.
Dude, my kids are like, they're just horrible people. My kids, my chick. I'm not joking. If I ever need to do anything, that's the time they decide to spaz out. If I'm doing nothing,
yep,
they're fucking angels.
Exactly.
If I had anything on my schedule that day, that moment, terrorist. So
with the number 9 pick in the TSFL draft, J Corb selects South Alabama. So it looks like everyone's picking teams they've took before. Mark it down, guys.
This is a different South Alabama team though than last year.
Oh yeah,
without
it does not have Gio. Yep, Gio Lopez is gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's over in UNC now. So hopefully J Corb did his research. I'm sure he did.
A good running back in there. I mean, they're not a bad team.
No,
just Gio Lopez, he was kind of the big selling point.
Yep, they are not a bad team at all. They're not a bad team at all. They were in my ranking somewhere. I remember seeing them. So yeah, they're definitely not a bad team. I just think it's funny. So that I think we have 3 users now that are 3 or 4 actually that are manning up a team that they did in 25. Very interesting. Coach Mullet, you are on the clock with the 10th pick. So let's see. So we're almost through 10 picks. I find it interesting that everyone now is staying away from the American Conference. So, but we do now, we have teams selected from every conference at this point. So everything is starting to spread out. We still have 5 teams in the SBC, and we have 6 teams left, or 7 teams left in Conference USA, and 6 teams left in the MAC, and 3 teams in the Mountain West, and 2 in the American. So that's where we're sitting right now. And Coach Mullet is on the clock. And so let's see here. I'm trying to remember. So there's no Army, so we know Mullet won't be going to Army again. So at least we got that. I'm not sure who Mullet is going to prefer in here. Oh, I know who he's taking. I know who he's taking, and I'm not going to say a thing. We'll see if I'm right on that. Mullet, if you're looking for advice, there's plenty of it in chat. I'd get in there if I was you. There's lots of armchair quarterbacks that'd like to help you out with your selection.
Sorry, I'm back. Quick little break.
Not a problem. So I was just saying, with Mullet on the clock here, I took a look at the teams, and I have a feeling who he might pick. But right now we're starting to even out. There's only 3 conferences that are a little bit overloaded with teams right now: the MAC, Conference USA, and SBC. We only have 2 left in American and 3 left in Mountain West. I definitely don't want to give away anything, so people to help them do their research on this at all. So instead of talking about the best teams available, let's talk about the worst teams. If you had to pick one team out of all the teams that are available, what team would you rank last?
Oh, I mean, probably Missouri State. I would assume, just by default, you know. They
Yeah.
got a bunch of weird, like, generic players that aren't really players. I mean, they're a fun team. I think there's pros and cons to all of it. I wouldn't want Missouri State, but, you know, if you had them for the long term, I mean, I would take Missouri State like head coach, build them up that way, but for 2 to 3 year stint, I'd be pretty pissed with like a Missouri State or even like a, who else did I kind of see that was pretty bad? Northern Illinois is pretty cheeks. I don't know. I wasn't very too hot when I saw them. Probably between those two. Delaware maybe in there a little bit too, but Delaware's got a couple decent guys. That gives them a little bit of breathing room. Pick is in though. Kind of surprising. I don't know, man. Some of these picks, dude, these guys are taking some liberties here. I love it.
So I'm leaving up the teams available right now. I've taken off the teams. So if you're looking at this in current time, just take a look right there. That's who is available at this time. Otherwise, I believe in Discord, right? You've been updating that in Discord that has all the teams that have been selected so far.
It's in the CFB 26 channel.
Yeah. So.
I don't want to jinx it, buddy, but well, I won't jinx it. I'll bring it up to you maybe 2 picks from now. If something pans out a particular way, I'm gonna be very happy for a certain buddy of mine. But yeah, the pick is in. What are we thinking here? What are we looking at?
Well, it's not what I thought. I'm actually a little.
Oh, and real quick, this person wants to be he wants to be referred to as the QB whisperer when you announce this. He made sure that he messaged me that. So.
Well, he didn't talk to me, so I'm gonna leave it. Fine, I will do it just because I am that kind of good person. The quarterback whisperer. Seriously, I don't know about that. Well, that's too funny. That is just
it's interesting.
Too funny. I mean, I guess if that's what you want to think, it makes total sense. And with the number 10 pick in the TSFL draft, the coach, quarterback whisperer mullet selects Sam Houston and the Bearcats.
Very interesting pick.
That is a completely interesting pick. I did not have them. Oh yeah, I did have them. They were farther down by me. So I mean, what can I say? There's just a ton of teams that are going off the board now that I had on my list. So it is what it is. All up, you are on the clock. I mean, I'm really don't know who's at this point. I think it's all a wash. I think a lot of the good teams, I mean, that's probably why, seeing Sam Houston, I mean, every team I looked at, there was only a couple teams that I looked at and I was just like, there's no way.
Team that I told you about. There's a team that I told you about. We're getting awfully close, dude. And if they're available when you're, I'm making the fucking pick for you. I swear to you. I'm not joking, dude. If they fall to you, 2 things. If they fall to you, shame on everyone else. Or I'm retarded in my rankings because there's no way. I'll lose my mind, dude. If this is you. Next pick is in. So let's get through it. I'm very curious here. I need to see how this plays out. This is like a Shador Sanders type drop right now, but we'll see.
And with the 11th pick in the TSFL draft, All Up selects Nevada.
Not bad. Not bad little pick.
Nope. They got some definite weapons there that you can work with. Mr. Burleson Jr. is the biggest one that comes to mind.
Son's there, yeah, right?
Yep. Nate Burleson's
cool
kid. Yep. He's on the team. He's pretty good in the game, from what I've seen. So yeah. I don't know. I can't even think straight right now because of just trying to run this draft and do everything like that. I don't. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I think I know. I think I know what pick I'm gonna go for. And now number 12, Big Dog Savage. You are on the clock.
Go back to this Nevada pick here. I don't know. I always try to see it through different lenses. You got one quarterback. I mean, I would assume he's going to go with their starter. I would think he's got the most abilities. Let's see if his throw power is. Yeah, 93. So, I mean, here, that Brandon Vance they got, he's sneaky good. He's dual threat. Not great speed, but good acceleration, great throw power, great ball carrier vision. Not great speed, but he should have enough of what those other stats to be at least mobile to kind of get you some yards. He should be good. The quarterback's kind of the big thing. You got a 90 speed sophomore. That guy should probably translate into something decent. What's hurting him is his awareness. He's at 69, so a lot of his stats are actually good, but the awareness is holding him down. So that's that's the IQ progression to get him up, and it's usually cheap to do. So that guy's a sophomore. He could potentially dog out. Decent speed at receiver, nothing that flies off at you, but not slow. Tight end, kind of a little underwhelming. As we go to linebackers, you got a couple guys that are decent in there. Once again, no great speed. Pretty limited cornerback room. They only got like 6 guys on the depth chart, which is kind of crazy. If you see some of these rosters where they got a ton, one's a senior. Definitely some really good safeties that he'll probably plug in. I think this is a good pick. I would assume he probably made it based on that quarterback primarily, I would think. That guy definitely shows pretty good potential. We'll see though, man. All these picks right now these picks are the trickiest because you're kind of playing off of who fell, and then how did you scout at this point? How do you scout for like 12, 11, 12 10 people picking before you? So it's kind of tricky. These picks are going to kind of show who really did some research here.
Right.
Oh, that's tough. I shouldn't have said anything.
Nope, you shouldn't have.
Very tough. Well, I mean, they didn't know, but
I know. We all know it wasn't gonna last. Come on now.
Well, I mean, there's still some teams on here, man, that I did not think would be on here.
Yep,
So I don't think, I think you're still Gucci. 'Cause there's a couple teams, regardless, that I would have never imagined didn't get, picked between the first 12.
Yeah. So with the 12th pick in the TSFL draft, Big Dog Savage selects Coastal Carolina.
That's a good pick, my friend.
Mm-hmm. That's who I actually thought Mullet was going to take. Just because.
Same here.
Because we were seeing so many people kind of fall back on some of these other ones that they've had good experiences with. And I mean, Coastal is a decent team. I
think they're better than decent.
Yeah, I mean, I would have expected them to fall to 12. Actually, I had them right around 12 is where I had them. I think you had them a little bit higher on your list.
They were 3rd to 4th on my list. I had a whole different perspective, man. I'm not gonna do someone else's job for them, but there's some key things that I liked about their team as far as just like instant success, like instant. How can I win this first season, second season? But good pick, man. I think that's super big value.
Yep, definitely.
So, I like it.
EJ, you are on the clock. I don't think I have mentioned that before. But it's there's still some good teams out there, so
there's tons of good teams, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mentioned it before, like that top 8, 9 that I did. Currently 2 of those teams are still left. So interesting enough, Coastal was one of them. So there was 3 at one point, and that was like my top 8. So I don't know. Either I'm completely wrong or some of these guys are just valuing different things. Pick is in though, EJ. Trying to make an impact here now that he's got a fresh start. EJ was a late addition to the league last year. Came in super late. I don't remember if he did CFB. Actually, no, he did. He won in Madden, and then he bounced out of Madden because we had injuries, and he got pissed. So I let him out of Madden, and then the funniest, his team made the playoffs the first year. So
of course,
That was a little bit of
That's
I
EA.
just put a smile on my face.
Yep,
Put a smile on my
that's
face a
EA
little bit.
messing with you totally. So with the 13th pick in the TSFL draft, EJ selects Rice. The Rice.
Not a bad team. You just
Nope.
recently had him, so what do
Yep.
you think about the Rice pick? You just came off of the Rice usership.
Yeah, I would not select them again.
Ooh,
I
shots
I
fired.
I was hoping they were not going to be here at any point when they came to be my pick, because I did not want them to be the best on the board and have to pick them, because I would do
So
that. They're not that bad that I would have said there's no way I'm taking them, but I just didn't. I wouldn't have taken them again if I would have had the chance.
you know what's crazy? Because I had them last year, I think in the first league, or I had them. It might have been the league that we had to restart, or maybe the league after that. But they had that Traden Dickman. Everyone knows that guy because of that fucking name.
Yep.
He was like a 97, 98 speed
Yep.
in the last game.
Yep.
He's 91 this year.
I know.
And don't get me wrong, I like that. Why the hell, how are they? We were laughing about it last year. How do they know that these freshmen? I mean, they were making some of these freshmen the fastest guys in the game. How the hell do you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically, how like off of his high school tape? I mean, it's a crazy assumption. I think 91 makes sense. He still has 94 acceleration. He's still a dog. Don't get me wrong, but they nerfed the living hell out of him. And Rice, because he graduated, they lost that really running back who was kind of like a Christian McCaffrey type. So
Yep.
good team, different team though.
Yep.
Than the Rice
I mean, they're solid. But yeah, they were. I took a look at them and I was really surprised by. Oh, what's going on here? I was really surprised by some of the differences I saw on the roster from last year's roster to this year's roster, and I think that's kind of where I just decided that I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Besides, I didn't do anything special over there, and you get that kind of bad taste in your mouth. You're just kind of like, I'd rather just stay away.
Quick question: is Georgia Southern an option?
No.
What the hell is?
Of course.
Check
Of course, we're gonna have a guy.
And he no, but he's a very smart man. He's one of my favorites in the league. But how drunk is he right now, dude?
I don't know.
Oh, I think he's joking. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm like this. I'm like,
that's what he's saying. Oh yeah, I was just kidding, guys. After you totally blasted me on live freaking streaming. Yeah, right.
Yeah, actually, no, yeah, dude, he's wasted right now because I'm reading that because I remember seeing Georgia Southern a couple days ago, and I thought the same thing. I'm like, dude, these guys are stacked.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, they're too stacked.
I think what he meant was Georgia State, so let's just give him Georgia State and move on.
That's super funny though.
Where are we at?
He is up next though, right?
He is up next. No Respect is on the clock. I think we're almost at the 6-minute mark here. Jeez, what's going on?
Yeah, dude. Good lord.
Yeah.
You only had 50 minutes to figure it out.
Right? Yeah, I think he totally meant Georgia State. I'm pretty sure.
100%.
I think we should.
No, I think he's scrambling right now. I think he thought you.
I think he did too, because if he doesn't have a team right now, then he totally thought he had Georgia Southern.
Dude, Georgia Southern, if they fell, they would have never fell to this. It would have been impossible. They have like 980 plus guys on their team or something crazy. He just put the pick in chat if you see it.
No, I did not. Hang on. Hang on. No, I can check. That's fine.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So he says.
There's no way, dude. Yeah, dude. It's.
Of course.
We'll skip over that one.
Of course, it'd be.
This is probably a team you were looking at for sure. I know.
Yeah. I kind of was, but at this point,
I'm
I've been,
not. I
I
think it's a great pick for value, but I wasn't a big fan of him. It's a good pick for value though.
right, and
Definitely a very good pick for value.
but obviously at this point, a lot of these teams I've looked at because they're all, I know they're all going to fall in this general area, right? So these are all the teams that I was kind of looking at the most and trying to decide, can I make any of this work? So with the number 14th pick in the TSFL draft, No Respect for Me selects Florida International, the Panthers, Pitbull U, Lambo U, whatever you want to call it. All I know is you better be running those pink and teal unis every game. Because I think that totally fits in perfectly for you. Mr.
Super good pick.
Mr.
I'm
Respect.
surprised they fell.
Yep. And Brad, you are on the clock with the 15th pick. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they made it that far too. I mean, it's a Florida team, so Florida teams usually go pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, all I know is so eh, it could be worse. There's some stuff to work with out there.
No, it's been a good draft, dude. Because I'll tell you what. Um. Ooh. Check your Check your message here. I'm probably jinxing it. There's. So here I'm sending it. There's been a lot of good parity. There's been teams taken that I would have never thought, and then teams that were just kind of no. So cool to see. These later picks are tough though, man. Like very, very tough because at this point now, like I said, you're playing off of who was taken, and you can't really scout for that. And then you're kind of just hoping that there's someone left that you can see yourself winning with in a two season span. So that's where it's tricky because I'll tell you this: there's certain guys at certain points in the draft where they need to be realistic and say, all right, I'm not going to be in that carousel after 2 seasons. Who's going to give me the best chance to be good year 3, year 4? And just, you're going to have to play that long game, unfortunately. This pick is in.
I just love that we have a guy that just his Discord name's just Brad. Brad and some numbers. I love it. The simplicity is awesome.
Brad's a cool dude. He's a no nonsense, no showboat.
Yep.
I think he's commented maybe like twice.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime we have signups, he's like the third dude to sign up. Anytime there's something going on in the league, I'd run a league with 32 Brads because I just no nonsense, no tomfoolery. He literally just plays very old school user. But
yep. And with the 15th pick in the TSFL draft, Brad selects New Mexico.
That's an interesting pick.
Which is awesome for me because I told Dolph after I saw that he was the pick behind me, if New Mexico was available when I was up, I was taking him no matter what, just so he couldn't have them. So the fact that Brad took him, that is awesome for me. So that means I do not have to take New Mexico. I'm a little disappointed though.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to possibly jump at Northern Illinois. Because wasn't
success with them before?
Yep, he had a lot of success with them.
I think New Mexico's decent. Obviously, their offense is the biggest selling point. I think I looked at their quarterbacks, and that's what kind of made me nervous. Yeah, so with their quarterbacks, your best throw power is a 71. It's a freshman. 71 overall, 91 throw power, but he's a pocket passer, and he's 6'7", which is psychotic. Pocket passers sometimes have a tough time in sim. If you go off of what QBs he might want to use instead, just to kind of fit our league more, he's going to use Jack Lane, who has an 87 throw power, which is, I don't know, hard to say how that looks. 80 speed, 82 acceleration. I don't know. I'm always just wary if the quarterback isn't like someone I could see getting just solid stats. I will say though, kind of like another team in here I won't name, but they're running backs. You got 84 overall, 81, 91 speed. If you can figure out a playbook to where you're running 65, 70% of the time and it works, you have the workhorses to do it. So if that's what he's thinking, could be a great pick. Could be a good setup. And look who's up now.
And with the 16th pick in the TSFL draft, Moi selects Old Dominion.
The nasty pick. Shame on some of you. And I'm not trying to be mean, but shame on some of you for letting the team fall. I'm going to write them in real quick here. So here's what you see with Old Dominion. They legit have one of the best defensive. Like legit. Yeah, he's a senior, but he's legit one of the best defensive players in the game. He has 99 awareness. 87 acceleration, a lot of good other intangibles, stacked to the gills with traits and different physicals and whatnot. He's a guy that should be like on Alabama, Michigan, Miami. I mean, the fact that he's just chilling on Old Dominion, and mind you, this is a 2-year sprint kind of. So you get him for a year. After that, dude, you got a sophomore quarterback that's very, very, very usable. You have a sophomore running back who's 91 speed, super usable. On the receiver side, a lot of work to do, but you have enough speed to probably.
I think we lost you there. Might want to check your mic. So, by the way, number 17 pick, Dolph, you are on the clock. Oh, yep. Looks like we lost him. Are you back?
You hear me?
Yep. A little technical difficulty there.
No, it was showing I was still talking.
Oh.
It was showing it. Either way, nonetheless, ODU, I'm not just saying this. That's a phenomenal. I'll tell you guys this. The fact that Coastal dropped to 12, the fact that FIU dropped to 14, and ODU dropped to 16. Oof. You guys that made those picks before, I hope you hit because you guys are gonna be kicking yourselves if you see those teams at the top of the weekly release, because that's, yeah, those are 3 teams I thought would go top 12 for sure, like without question.
Well, I don't know. I think Gruler is saying that Old Dominion was number 1 on his list.
He said Hawaii was number 1 on his list.
I don't know. I think everybody.
I think he's just saying it every
I
time.
think he is too. I think he's go figure.
Number 1.
Go figure. He's trolling in a chat.
Dude, he's a master troller. Gruler will annoy me from time to time, but I have to respect his troll ability. Like, he is an A1 troller. I've seen it for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
He is like Peyton Manning of trolling. But it's a great pick, man. A lot of these picks, I mean, and we'll see, dude. This is all narrative based.
Right.
Hard to know where any of this goes, but the ODU one's just crazy because realistically, that Jason Henderson, that 91 guy, he's one of the best guys out of all the entire rosters that we're picking from. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just
So yeah, so
interesting.
worst case scenario, at least hopefully he gets drafted and that helps pro potential or whatever it might be, and
For sure will. For
yeah,
sure will.
and you never know, maybe that'll help bring in a transfer here or whatever. So yep. No, yeah, he was a stud in last year's game too. I remember him uh being really high on there too. I think
Always a fan of the teams with the powder blue
in real
jerseys
life, I
too.
think he was an actual like second team All American preseason pick or something too, if I remember correctly.
After that. How long have we been on this pick here?
I actually haven't been watching. I would
So I'm
say
gonna say at least 622. I'm gonna give 4 minutes to Dolph. It shows he's online. You can't make this shit up if he gets skipped. Dude, you can't write it any funnier. Just couldn't happen to a more typical bro.
mm-hmm. So no New Mexico. Well, let's take a look. Hmm. I mean, there's definitely good teams out there. Think he
He
might.
just responded. He
Oh,
just responded.
oh, I was gonna say. I wonder if he
Um,
wants to run it with the Bobcats again.
oh, okay. The pick is in. Definitely a decent pick. These later ones, I mean, it's tough to say at this point, but not a bad pick.
Nope.
I can fuck with it.
Um, they were right on my list at this point where I was expecting. If Old Dominion wouldn't have been there, actually, that would have been another team I would have been looking at. I'm sorry. I only wish this stuff got auto inputted or somebody was a really fast typer on my side. They go a little bit quicker. So with the 17th pick in the TSFL draft, Dolph selects Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee. I love their unis. That was the whole reason, one of the reasons I wanted to take them. I just love their unis. That silver and blue. I think it looks real sharp.
Good pick. I mean, the reason, so it's just weird stuff, and some of it's just EA. So I'll say this: offense, good to go. You're gonna have a decent year on offense. The weird thing is, bro, they have 3 running backs, 83, 82, 81 overall.
Mm-hmm.
So figure out who you want, because you're obviously gonna lose maybe 1, 2 of them transfer portal. They're all young though, sophomores, juniors. Just weird how that spreads out. And then even deeper down the line, they got their 4th string. Here's the weirdest part. So I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's something to look out for. You got the 83 overall, 86 speed though, 82 overall, 89 speed, 81 overall, 88 speed. Okay. Then 4th on that list, you got a 77 overall. He's a 90 speed, but he has 96 acceleration and 94 change of direction.
Wow.
Like huge, huge difference from those other guys. Uncomfortable decision to make, but I would be playing him at least either at 3rd down back or just something. I mean, you could probably, I guess we have formation subs, so you can really get particular now,
Mm-hmm.
but what a tackle. You really have 4 running backs to choose from, and it's like, who
It's
knows which way you go with it.
that's one of the things I noticed too going through rosters. I noticed that almost every team's running backs room is solid, meaning you don't have just one guy and then there's like a big drop off. They all seem to have like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 running backs that are all right about 1 or 2 overalls off of each other, and they're all decent. Where it's like it's going to actually be hard to decide. So I wonder with formation subs and all that stuff if that was some of their thinking of that was trying to keep them all. I don't know, But I just noticed that from everything I looked at, running back rooms look fine for like every team in the game.
Um,
False block, you're
it's
on the clock, by the
interesting.
way.
I know he's taking his sweet ass time. He's like, "Where's the available team list?" I'm like, "Dude,
Oh,
like, we have damn near everything. I mean, other than me just making the
yeah.
pick for you, buddy." But there's still some good teams left.
Yep.
There's,
There's actually still two teams out there that I was actually going to pick
yeah,
before Old Dominion fell, and I would have been happy
yeah,
with
same here.
I would have been happy with either of them. So there's actually three teams out there that I would have
My original
definitely
list
picked.
on my top 8, there's still one available, which is crazy. All right, the pick is in here. The pick is in from Old False Block, TSFL OG. I have a feeling someone's gonna get skipped. I just feel it coming. The responses are getting more delayed. Someone's
Mm-hmm.
gonna get skipped. Someone's gonna get Missouri Stated. It's
Yeah, I figured something like that was going to happen.
well, just a warning too, and we'll announce the next pick. If you miss your pick, 1 or 2, it is what it is. You're gonna get skipped. It's not a big deal. If anyone doesn't respond throughout the entire draft, now mind you, if you pick 31st or 32nd, I'll give you a little bit of leeway. But more or less, if you don't respond throughout the entire draft, you will be booted from the league. The point of the matter is, we're slow doing all of this. Announcements have been heavily made with nice, pretty little graphics and more than enough time to schedule out, 10 to 15 minutes to make this draft, to put your pick in, whatever the case is. Completely missing it is not going to work just for the fact that we had to turn down 10 to 15 to 20 people that want to join the league. If you can't make a draft that really is like 10 minutes of your time, give or take, not going to proceed forward with you. Makes no sense. Like, it's the least commitment of the league that you have to do in like its entirety. The draft is 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Everything else is, so hopefully everyone does the right thing, but we'll see. We're about halfway through.
And with the 18th pick in the TSFL draft, False Block selects Bowling Green, BGSU. And that was definitely a team I was considering. I figured they'd be around this spot, and I'd be happy with that team. Real happy.
Streamers that I've seen at least did some rebuilds with Bowling Green, and they liked them a lot. I didn't really see why fully. I mean, they're a good team, don't get me wrong. I just didn't see what all the buzz was about. Oddly enough, in like play leagues, I don't know because everything transfers different to our CPU. But I guess Bowling Green has a really good offensive playbook, supposedly,
Mm-hmm.
when you obviously play the game. So a lot of people putting it like in top 10 offensive playbook. So interesting enough, maybe they'll kind of be a sneaky, powerhouse on the offensive side. Definitely a good value pick though here this late in the draft.
Yep, definitely. Coda, you are on the clock. If any of you guys can help pick up the pace, that'd be great for everybody, I'm sure.
Hitting them up, it's interesting, my friend.
I mean,
Should we do another
we're going
little sponsorship here?
By all means, go ahead.
All right, another sponsor segment here. Are you hungry? Get yourself a sack of their signature fourth and nachos and wash it down with a red shirt energy. And you'll be ready to take a 1-star team to the playoffs, or at least rage out with dignity. Fourth and nachos, get you some. Fuck, dude. We need sponsors. I don't care if it's toilet paper. We need real sponsors. So I can fucking
Toilet
Put
paper.
some.
There's quite a few. I think there's quite a few users in here that could use that as a sponsor.
I mean, how hard are sponsorships if you think about it? I mean, everything is everything. Everything's being sold. I think
Mm-hmm.
we just need to open up open up our brain waves here, narrow down a sponsorship, start getting paid. Kotap responded, thank God. I was worried about him. I thought Kotap was gonna get skipped. It's just awful familiar. Kotap's got a shaky history in the league. Kotap's back. I don't know if anyone remembers Kotap. Cool thing about him is he's been a part of the league for a while. He's kind of ping ponged in and out, but he was, I want to say he was in the league right when you joined Razor, maybe even a little bit before. So he's been around kind of here and there for a minute. Very cool dude. Just sometimes it goes off and does his own thing. Got both picks in though, so we can make this work quick.
And with the 19th pick in the TSFL Draft, Coda selects Temple. The Temple Owls, the cherry and white of the good old Temple Owls. And I believe
It's a cool pick
it is a cool pick.
for 19, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that closes out the American Conference. There are
Wow. Yeah.
no more teams left in the American. They are officially closed out. That was a good enough reason for me to stay away from that conference too. Seeing three top dogs going head to head over there. Samwell, you are on the clock, and I believe.
Yeah, brother.
Look at that. We got people picking up the pace. I like it. Now I'm going to be the one that's holding us all back because I do everything very slow when it comes to some of this stuff because I'm still learning stuff. And trust me, it's not only frustrating to you guys maybe sometimes, but it's frustrating to me too. So that's why I try to make it look as pretty as possible because otherwise you guys would probably lose interest in it. So with that
Here's a
being
cool thing,
said,
real
what's that?
before we get past Temple. Before we get past Temple, check this out. They have a 94 acceleration running back, 94 acceleration receiver, 93 cornerback, 93 running back again, 92 running back again, 92 receiver. This team's sneaky fast.
Mm.
Decent speed to go along with it. The game will kind of give you more acceleration boost than speed. They
Mm-hmm.
kind of, for whatever reason, just don't prioritize that. Temple's a sneaky pick. They got a freshman quarterback in here too that maybe can turn into something. That's a looking at it a little deeper. That's a decent little pick at 19 there.
All right. And with the next pick, number 20 in the TSFL draft, Sam Well selects Central Michigan. CMU.
Pick. I don't want to do any spoilers. I'll say it really quick. Should have picked another Michigan. But anyway, let's look at Central real quick. Well, I mean here, I know I picked Central. I know I picked Central. So they have four guys that are pretty stacked on defense. Like this team is actually, to be honest with you, this team is probably one of the better in defenses, believe it or not. They are all seniors, but that's not a big deal. You know, you get 1 year with them at least. You have an 85 overall linebacker, edge at 80, another linebacker at the will, 80, strong safety at 80. It does drop off considerably from there as far as their team overalls. Fuck it, man. I mean, if you're taking that strategy of like, let me try to make defense work, since it's the toughest to kind of perfect, you'll have a nice head start. You got a cornerback with 90 speed. I mean, I see it. I don't know if I would have taken him here, but once again, it's splitting hairs. We'll see kind of how it pans out.
Mm-hmm. Nerdy bitch, you are on the clock, by the way. I've always wanted to say that. My dreams are coming
It's a
true.
unique name.
My dreams are coming true today.
Name.
All of them.
I'll admit, man, unless they get picked soon here, it's crazy to think that one of my top 8 teams doesn't go top 20. It's making me think maybe it's a me problem and not a league problem.
It could be. Or you could have just seen something, obviously, that a lot of other people don't see. I mean, it does happen, but we've all been wrong too at certain points.
It's just tough, man. It's hard to think, because everyone looks at this game. I mean, we all look at it the same, but everyone's going to kind of have their own different things that they focus on. So it's kind of hard to know. Another interesting thing too, we passed them up a couple picks ago. Bowling Green, one of the best O-lines out of all the user teams, for whatever that's worth. Maybe Dylan kind of pinpointed that, but they do have a rather better O-line than most of the teams that have been picked. So that's kind of interesting.
So out of mine, I have 2 teams in my top 10 that are still on the board after just looking at it.
So we got some good pace here. Both picks are in next. Kind of what I would think here for one of them at least. Then with this last pick here with Samwell, who took Central Michigan. Samwell's new to the league. He is one of, I think it's 3 rookies that we have in the league this year. It's Samwell. Rookies got shafted in the draft order, which is super ironic, but it happened. Samwell, next level Matt, not positive. It's Matt's alter ego. We're all kind of burned by that name historically. And then Jordan Hack. Those are the 3 new guys. Technically, LA 2 oft is new as well, so I guess it's 4. But he's kind of been in the league on the waiting list for a while, getting kind of acclimated. So I guess it's technically 4, but LA's been kind of getting friendly with everyone, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, picks are in, buddy.
Yep. So with the 21st pick in the TSFL draft, Nerdy Bitch selects UMass. UMass.
What do you think about UMass?
I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say I thought that they had a guy at wide receiver that was just like next level. I don't know if you got the roster open in front of you, but maybe it wasn't UMass. But I think they have a guy on there that was just like, nope, they don't.
They do.
Oh, they do?
No, they do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Perspective wise, for like the teams that we're picking out of. So it's Ty Harding. It's weird, man. It's so weird with this early roster that EA puts out. So only has 1 badge, and it's Bronze Shifty, for whatever that's worth. But he's an 80 overall, 92 speed, 94 acceleration, 84 awareness, which maybe sometimes is good, maybe sometimes isn't. Who knows? Decent route running, like very, very balanced route running. 85 short, 84 medium, 83 deep. He's a junior, so if you keep him, you have him, year 2, maybe mid 80s. I don't know. UMass it's an interesting team. I don't know how I feel about them. I think you got a big choice at quarterback as far as what you do. I'm weird, and the guy I would go with for their team with quarterback is actually one of their worst rated guys. I won't say his name, but that's the way I would go. Decent running backs, kind of some holes on defense, but a couple speedy guys. It's a crapshoot this late. I do like UMass as a team, though. I think they're kind of cool. I don't know. See which way it goes. You're definitely gonna have to probably hope you can maybe catch fire by year 2. Maybe make the carousel, but definitely maybe pinpoint making a year 3. I don't know. Hard to say with these later picks. It's really gonna be user dependent.
And with the 22nd pick in the TSFL draft, Kappa selects Georgia State.
Value. That's a pretty good value pick.
And we are now on to our last 10 picks. Chef, you are on the clock.
Georgia State this late.
Yeah, they had some really good running backs, if I remember, on Georgia State.
I think that's their whole claim. I think they have like 2 really good ones, if I remember. Two or 4. Dude, they have
Yeah.
4 running backs above 80 overall. Like, fuck. I mean, what do you even? I mean, here, I'll tell you what. Formation subs is a godsend because you can really, really get flirty with it. But like, dude, I don't know, man. Sometimes I think EA just trolls any opportunity they get. How do they have 4 above 80? Like the likelihood.
Yeah.
How is it? Like, how could that ever happen? Like, dude, some teams have 1 at 80. Period. Very weird.
Yeah, I
They
don't
also have an
know.
87 overall receiver.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Georgia
there's some
State's sneaky
nerfing.
good.
If I would not be surprised if there's some nerfing to the running backs in the next roster update.
For sure, but we'll be missing it.
Yep.
Because we'll be starting before that, which it is what it is. These early teams are, they're going to be gone in an instant. They're going to be gone 20 years plus, so it's not the end all be all. We on Chef now, 23.
Yep, Chef is up.
Pick is in. Smart
Ooh.
pick here. Definitely a smart pick. I think some of these guys in the later picks are very happy with how it fell to them. Definitely some good value.
Mm-hmm.
This is a super good pick. I did not think these guys would fall this far. I like this pick a lot.
Yep.
You're seeing way more value in these 20 picks than I saw in like the late teens.
And with the 23rd pick in the TSFL draft, Chef selects Louisiana Tech, the Bulldogs. And we witnessed what they can do in a three-year tournament. So Chef's wondering if they can do the same thing for him and get him to that next job. Mellow High, you are on the clock. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised La Tech was there. Like, when I selected Old Dominion, it was them, Louisiana Tech, and Bowling Green. Those were the 3 teams I was debating on, and I went with Old Dominion. I really liked the Bulldogs roster. I thought their roster looked really good. They had a decent quarterback, and I think actually he's the one. I think the only problem with him is I think he's a pocket passer, which I'm used to it. Every team I ever go to, I usually get a pocket passer, which I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to have at Old Dominion, but we'll see. But those are it'll be interesting to see how pocket passers do this year. I am not sold on them at all after what happened in 25. It just seemed like they were just junk. It really seemed like. Because if you looked at most of the stats, it was the scramblers that were doing the most passing, which makes absolutely no sense. You think it'd be a good mix of run and pass for them, and that the pocket passers would be the ones getting most of the passing stats, but it just doesn't seem to work that way in slow sim, and I'm not sure why that is.
Thing is, Louisiana Tech has 15 receivers on their roster. Dude, like EA, chill, dude.
15,
What
huh?
are you talking about? Dude, there's someone's got to pull this up in real life. There's no way that they have 15 dudes on the roster. Dude, I'm like, let's look at their receivers. And bro, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 7 guys 90 speed or higher. Um, for reference, most teams are lucky enough to have 2. Um, just I don't even know. So many options at receiver. So have fun figuring out which ones you want to keep because you're gonna have the first 3, 4 weeks of the season. You're just figuring out who you even want to make sure you like keep the year after. Very interesting. No.
That is right, correct. Zach, can you hear me?
Can you not hear me?
No, I could not hear you. I can now, though.
Pick is in. Check your shit.
Okay.
Good to
I
go.
just wanted to make sure that was right.
Yeah. Good pick.
Not a problem. Yep, very good pick. What's the 24th pick in the
Super
TSFL
good value, man.
draft? Mellow High selects Western Michigan.
That's a good
And
dude. It's crazy that they fell that far.
Grueller, you are on the clock.
So if anyone's seen it, like for the game, like EA will shoot out those graphics where it's like they show the top 10 guys of speed, top 10 throw power, and it's like out of everything, and it's crazy because it's usually just all the Alabama, Clemson, LSU, Michigan. It's always the same thing. For Western Michigan, and I'll pull them up for reference here because I looked through them and there was only basically just this guy of like the lower non P5 school players, and I'll pull it up on here. Jalen Buckley at 90 ball carrier vision, top 10 in all of college football. Crazy. And he's a junior. So Western Michigan has arguably, obviously, a potential top 10 running back in all of football. So to land them at 24, that's value for days.
Yep, definitely. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 teams left. Getting down to the nitty gritty now. Now this is where the guys at the end are just hoping that something falls their way.
Easier at this point. I mean, I think you're watching everything happen and you're like, oh, can this team just not get picked? Like you're rationalizing. You're like, all right, they got picked, wanted them. They got picked, would have been happy. Like, please, just this last one, stay. I think that's all you do at this point. You're like, you're more than willing to go with like your 4th option you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Pick us in from old Grueller.
Ooh. Very interesting.
Wait 2 seconds. I don't even know what the fuck he's writing me right now.
He's probably changing his.
Give me 2
Is he
seconds.
changing his mind?
Bro, he writes me like this whole thing, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then he writes me like the most opposite response after. Like, I don't even understand what he's talking about. Just give me 2 seconds.
Just to make sure that he doesn't change it.
Oh, I don't even. You're...
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
So with the 25th pick in the TSFL draft, Grueller selects UL Monroe, the Warhawks. I actually like those Warhawk unis. Those are kind of cool. The team's not that cool.
Really, teams. If you remember last year, they were like the worst team. This year, they're a little better this year.
Yeah.
They have a little bit more on there. Like if you look at their roster, they're actually like sometimes I just do it generally like just off of like 80 plus overall guys because that's kind of rare with the teams we go after. 84 free safety, 83 corner, 83 guard, 2 edge rushers, 82 and 81, and a running back at 80. Pretty balanced.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as quarterbacks, I would say I think you have 2 options as far as guys that can maybe work in sim. Not a bad team at all.
It's BP. You are on the clock. I know you've been watching. I think. At least you were at the beginning. Maybe you're not anymore. We'll see if he sticks with his Michigan fascination. I know Western's not there, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be bummed about that.
They almost fell to him, which is crazy.
Yep.
We'll see. BP's weird. I could see him getting penalized here. I don't know. Some of these guys I get nervous about. I don't know.
Yeah. So the 3 usual suspects are out there, like I thought. Delaware, Missouri State. Obviously, makes sense. They're both first year in the FBS. Obviously, no one's thinking EA gave them any love. And it's not like they were powerhouses in the FCS either. You know what I mean? And then Kennesaw State, this is their second year making the switch. But we've seen what people. Who was it that ran Kennesaw and did really well with them? I can't remember who that was.
Chef. That was Chef.
Was it Chef?
Yeah. Was the original guy with him. He did super well.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, honestly, they're in Georgia. That's a good pipeline. Yeah, you got to compete with Georgia, but at the same time, we've seen how bad Georgia Tech can be, and Georgia State and Georgia Southern, and I don't know. I think he could easily compete with those guys for a couple of recruits out of that area too. So it's BP's going to be on with a different team because UTEP's gone, Western Michigan's gone, and obviously Duke's not in here. I think those are the only 3 teams he's ever had.
Well, no, he's saying in the same stratosphere, kind of. Pick a Zen. Different for him, but same region. Kind of ironic.
Ah. And with the 26th pick in the TSFL draft, it's BP selects Ohio, the Bobcats.
Midwest boy. He texted me at first. He's like Bobcats, and I'm like looking it up. I'm like, dude, I don't know half these teams' fucking mascots. You kidding me? I've never watched an Ohio football game, dude. I mean, I guess betting maybe, but come on, dude. Took me like 10 minutes to Google it.
You seriously could have asked me.
True. Isn't Texas State who's I know they're not available,
Yes,
but
Texas
aren't they
State's
the Bobcats too?
Yep, they are the Bobcats too.
That's what confused me. I'm like, is this like Tony all over again? Fuck, I'll take Texas State. Like, yeah, no shit, you will, dude. Fucking. I bet you would, dude.
Right.
Let's see.
Actually, I would
new
have.
guy
I,
here.
I probably would have. I probably would have figured it out just thinking because I would have remembered that Ohio was on here. But yeah, no, I mean that'd be like somebody coming in here and saying, "I'll take the Bulldogs." Okay.
We had that. I remember from one of our drafts. I can't remember if it was Madden. This was a while ago, and it was super funny. I think it was when we were announcing it in Discord, very early stages, and some dude just appeared just like during the draft once he was up and was like, "I'll take this team," and they were picked like third. Everyone trolled him. I wish I remember the exact scenario, but just like engraved in my head. Some dude just thinking like, I can't believe these guys fell to me.
Next level, Matt, you're on the clock. Sorry, I keep forgetting to announce who's on the clock. I'm assuming that everyone's kind of paying attention to it, but
to be honest, most guys have been hitting me up. It's actually been pretty good.
that's good.
My fears of someone getting
I'm glad it's
skipped is not.
I think you rained a little fear into these people.
I mean, fuck. Pay $13. There's hundreds and hundreds. By the time a team can win the title, they're legit might be like $2,000 on the line. You won't get the $2,000, but it'll be the biggest payout. The first one to win the title, the Natty, in this will get the biggest title the league's ever, or the biggest payout the league's ever done. So it's like, how the hell do you not make the draft? Like, I don't know. It just makes no sense to me. This was a free league or something thrown together, for sure. But I don't know. It's the easiest thing you'll do with your teams. It's just picking one.
Yep, pretty much.
So not making it is just crazy to me.
Pretty much. Or no, not even that. I was gonna say setting your team up for week 1, but some teams actually play week 1, so that doesn't work out. With the 27th pick in the TSFL draft, next level Matt selects Eastern Michigan, the EMU Eagles. Another one. I love their field. I love their unis. They're a team that I would pick just because I like how their unis look. I know it's sad, but hey.
I skipped Grueller on here in accident. Hold on. Who did Grueller take again? Oh yeah, ULM. Hold on. Get update.
Shoot, you're on the clock.
He just messaged me. Another one. He's like, who's left? Come on, buddy.
It's always easier to ask. Always easier to ask. My guess is he's probably not even watching the stream.
Was originally. I mean, I don't blame people when you're picking I have sympathy for people picking at these picks because it's
right.
So I definitely I'll work with you on these later picks, but I don't know who the hell's available. I really don't. I mean, I could look for you, but then we're just doing the same thing. I don't know offhand. I mean, I guess I could announce it. Who is available here?
So right now available is Northern Illinois, New Mexico State, Missouri State, Kennesaw State, Delaware. That's all that's left.
Missouri too, right? You said Missouri?
Yep. Missouri State, Kennesaw State, Delaware, New Mexico State.
Damn near all of Conference USA.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 4 teams from Conference USA and then Northern Illinois.
Something about Kennesaw State I've always kind of liked, but I don't know. I don't know if like when we get deeper into it as far as getting like head coach jobs, a lot of these teams getting taken at the end become a lot more appealing. But initially at this lower end coordinator, you're not really going to get the payoff of building them up unless you fail for a bunch of years. Dependent. But a team like Kennesaw, I'd love to take them as a head coach on that first tier of head coach you get available. Just because you have so much, you'd like a blank canvas kind of. Choo Choo just gave me a team already picked.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Pick his own.
And with the 28th pick in the TSFL draft, Choo Choo selects New Mexico State. The Aggies. The Aggies are back.
Roll this late. Can't really do much about it.
LA2 off. You are on the clock. And there's 4 teams left.
Let's see if I got a message from him yet. He's online. LA here. Tauber. Let me get tabs on Tauber. LA's been waiting for this moment. Time on this pretty well. So we want to do 2 hours. Right at 2 hours, so not too bad.
I thought we could do it.
Invested in some of the lower guys. Make sure they're alive.
And with the 29th pick in the TSFL draft, LA2 off selects Northern Illinois. And we got 3 picks left to go.
I always tell myself that I'm gonna take Northern because kind of like the area I grew up in. Northern was like, I think, an hour or less away from where I lived. I just could never do it, bro. I don't know.
See, that's what sucks for that's what sucks for me, is because being in Wisconsin, we only have one football program, being the Badgers, and that's it. And it's just like, yeah, I don't pay attention to the Illinois, Minnesota teams or the Michigan teams really, because obviously then we're talking all Big Ten country really, except for the one-offs like Northern Illinois and some of those other schools. So that's why, and I'll never be able to be the Wisconsin Badgers coach in this game. Probably it just won't happen.
I just found something out. He told me before. He's capitalizing it. So it's actually not LA2. It's IA2. It's a capital I. I mean, now I'm more confused on what the name means now, but clarification, it's IA2 off. I8 I missed some here. I8 2 off. What the fuck?
I is it Iowa 2 off?
That would make more sense. I don't know.
Here.
IA2 off is a super cool dude. Not making fun of him, just given a little bit of humor with the silly name. That's all. He's a cool dude though.
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. I don't know where I got the L. I thought it was I think I thought it was a lowercase L, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there we go. We're at IA too oft.
I think you should change it to LA. I kind of assume because I'm like, yeah, he's. I don't know. Hold on, I think he gave us clarification. Oh, it stands for. All right, so I kind of get it. Way too much thought has to go into this name to figure it out, but it stands for I am too old for this,
Ah.
which I like that name. He
I,
says he's 45 years old, so he's more on the senior side. We got a couple older gentlemen in this league as well.
well, I can tell you right now,
Funny.
if it makes you feel better, I'm older than you. So there you go. Take that with you. You can be happy about that. That totally makes sense, though. No.
Yeah, I like. I mean, just dude, I've called him LA like a hundred times. It's just funny. A
Eh,
little humor for me.
that'll happen. I mean,
Interesting pick coming in.
yeah. I mean that kind of stuff will happen. You
Well,
got
dude, I mean, if we really broke down everyone's name in here, I mean, mine's simple once you kind of know what it is. Hiighwalkr, Razor. There's a couple guys in here that to this day, like,
oh,
it took me probably 7 months to understand it was excuse me for SQ. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right? It's
yeah.
excuse me.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a play
Dude,
on.
I didn't
It's a
know.
play on his name and a play on words. Yep.
It took me forever to figure that out.
And by the way, Damascus, uh, being a former UW Stevens Point pointer, there is no way in hell we are importing Wisconsin Whitewater into this game for me. No way in heck.
Whitewater.
Not happening. Sorry, I'm a pointer for life. I played baseball there. Not happening. Too much history. Ain't going anywhere. Um, and with the 30th pick in the draft, Talbot selects Missouri State. So our first new team is off the board, and it's down to 2. It's Delaware. It's Kennesaw State. Who's
Really
gonna?
got one pick left.
Yep.
I don't know if he's gonna respond. If he doesn't, I'll give him the benefit just because, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't care which one of these teams he gets.
I'm
To
sure
be
that's
fair.
I'm sure that's actually kind of how he felt.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I'm not just looking for reasons to boot people. If someone was the 20th pick, I find that offensive. But if you're second to last, I'll let both of them. We'll give them a couple minutes here. But if not,
Yes.
I'll
So
let both of them
Jordan Hack,
message me first.
Jordan Hack, you are on the clock, and I believe, yeah, I think he messaged before and said just let him know what 2 teams were available when he was up. So I'm sure.
Yeah, I think he did.
Cop out.
What are the 2 teams last? Is it
We can
Delaware and
Damascus. We can import Stevens Point. I have no problem with that. We'll bring the pointers in there. At least they have purple and gold jerseys, not just purple and plain white. Their jerseys are actually kind of cool, so we could bring them in.
last 2 is Delaware and Kennesaw, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see if any of them message us, but we can call it here. We got a good little run time, just over 2 hours, so we did it pretty much perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Oh, actually, George just responded. Look at that. He's gonna take Kennesaw. Sorry, I'll take some of the fun out of it just so he can get this show kind of cooking.
Well, apparently the pick is in.
I got excited.
Obviously, you're like you want to do this next time, don't you?
No,
No.
I
Why not?
enjoyed having you do it.
No, I wish
liked having you
I'd
do
love
it.
to see you doing all this. I think it would actually
No,
be fun. Did you say you took Kennesaw?
no. Yeah, he did. No, secretly, I enjoyed running the league alone for a while. And then once I saw how good you were at it and better than me at so much stuff, I was quickly realizing that I should let you take more of the authority on stuff.
And
You're a lot better than me at the computer things.
with the 31st pick, TSFL Draft, Jordan Hack selects Kennesaw State. And just because
Nice.
we've made it this far, I would feel terrible if we didn't give him his due props. Just so it's on the stream and then he can show it to people. And I kept this guy's actual Discord server name because I thought it was cool versus his actual. That's the thing that gets really confusing with the whole Discord thing, because you can have two names and a lot of people do that and a lot of people don't.
It's so confusing sometimes.
Yeah, so I always never know which one I should take. But this guy's, I took his server name just because I thought it was cool. And with the 32nd pick in the TSFL draft, Radioactive selects Delaware, or is given,
Surprised Delaware went last.
in this instance, Delaware. Yeah, I'm actually kind of
Delaware,
surprised too. I know a lot of people
that's a
that think
fun
that,
rebuild for a lot of people.
yeah, a lot of people think that's a really fun rebuild. I mean, they got kind of a, cool colors and stuff like that, so it's not too bad. But yeah. So there we go. I gotta say, it was a great time. Thank you for hosting with me. I totally appreciate it. I knew there was going to be some downtime in here as I have to juggle and balance all these things. So that worked out perfectly. And thank you for joining. And it
Hey,
was a
one
good
job,
time.
brother. Presentation's insane.
Yep.
I will say this. You got a couple points you want to make before I say this last one?
Nope. I was just going to do announcements.
Regarding when we're gonna start the league, got super lucky. I was waiting for this update that just came through today. They don't obviously tell you. You got to kind of guesstimate on last year's game, but we got lucky, so the update's good. I still have to. I follow a couple really, really big slider tester guys. I need to see what they say with this new patch, with the new title update, because sometimes it messes with sliders. So basically, like the next couple days, nothing too long, but we're not going to start the league tomorrow by any means. I just need one more update on slider testing from the guys I follow, and then obviously I do my own little testing. So we'll start this week for sure. I'll announce exactly kind of when and what we're going to do. We're going to do something a little different with the coaches we create. I'll announce more with that with Razor as we get later into it. But yeah, just stay tuned to like the one channel. We'll get the league started soon, but I just want to make sure these sliders are as perfect as possible day one. Because the one dilemma we've had in past leagues is we would do a lot of tweaking mid-season. You're always going to have some tweaks, but I really want to limit it as much as possible so people kind of always know what they're working with. So it's going to take a couple extra days, but then the sliders we have will have the pretty consistent moving forward. But thanks for having me, Razor.
Yep, no problem.
Fun as always.
Thanks for joining me. It was a great time. And see you guys out on the field. Let's get to it.